I was asked to compare a high-end lapel mic with a cheap low-end one and see if there's any difference. Okay. Let's talk about lapel mics. In my recent sound episode, I talk about getting your mic as close to your talent's mouth as possible to get really good sound. I suggested using a boom or a lapel mic. Many viewers suggested a comparison between a high-end lapel mic and a cheaper low-end lapel mic to see if there really is a difference. Now, high-end lapel mics that you would use in films can cost you thousands of dollars just for one mic, not to mention some serious recording equipment that can run tens and even hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't think a review of these would be beneficial to anyone watching this, most of whom fund themselves with their own money. So for purposes of this episode, let's use what I would consider a high-end lapel mic for making your own videos. First, I want to go through the recorder and two lapel mics in detail so you know everything about them. I've included all the links to these in the show notes below. Wait. Let's use the I'm doing a review of something soundtrack. Okay. For this comparison, I am using the Zoom H1 recorder. These recently came down from $99 to $86 on Amazon, which is really cheap for the great sound quality you get. The H1 is not built for mishandling. If it fell from 10 feet and smashed onto the concrete, it would die. Heck, so would my camera, so would my face. So as a rule, I don't drop my recorder, my camera, or my face onto the concrete. The H1 has a standard 3.5mm input for most low-end lapel mics and another output for monitoring the sound with headphones. The H1 can also directly record sound into the computer if needed for doing voiceovers and other sound work. The other nice thing about this recorder is it is simple. Turn it on, adjust your mic level, hit the button to record, hit the button to stop, no fussing around. It's also pretty small. You can hide it and the lapel mic on your talent pretty easily. I have a couple of these so I can record actors talking at the same time and get good sound no matter how far away they are from the camera. I would also suggest getting the accessory package. It's about $20. Has an AC adapter, windscreen USB cable, most importantly, a Zoom labeled carrying case for protection, which would allow you to drop it on the floor without damage. Now, if you need something better than the H1, you can look at the H4n, which has pro-level mic inputs and probably would survive a 10-foot drop onto concrete, although I really don't want to test this. The H4n is much larger in size. It has a price around $250, but you get all the goodies in a carrying case, way better control over what you're recording. Both of these recorders are used widely by YouTube community, and they both record in stereo. Now let's look at the lapel mics we'll be carrying. First, we have this very low-end lapel mic with a very high-end name, the Audio-Technica ATR 3550 lavalier omnidirectional condenser microphone. It's ridiculously cheap for lav mic, about $18 on Amazon. I have to mention a few things I really don't like about this mic. When I'm handling the mic, or putting it away, or taking it out, or clipping it on someone, the foam head, referred to as a pop filter, always falls off. As you can see here, I got frustrated. I finally took some gaffer's tape and taped it on. Not the best solution, but there's no sound quality loss. Note to self. Dear me, do not try and fix things with gaffer's tape when frustrated. Thank you, sincerely, me. The lapel clip also slides off too easily. One time the screw that attaches the clip to the mount came undone and fell off, which was easily screwed back on. Luckily, I saw the tiny screw lying on the ground. The next thing this mic has is an on-off switch and a watch-type battery. This is no big deal unless you forget to turn it off after you're filming. Then you pull it out again later and you realize you have no extra batteries lying around. Not having extra batteries for your battery-powered equipment is a Filmmaker fail, so I suggest you buy a package of extra batteries, which are about $4, and keep them on hand stored with the mic. This mic has a 20-foot long, 6-meter cable. That may sound great, but this cable always gets in my way. It always gets tangled up. Also, this mic has no storage case, but that's easily solved with a small box or plastic container where you could also store your extra batteries. Okay, that sounds like a lot of negatives, but for $18, come on. I just wanted you to be aware of these things in case you decide to get one. Really high-end lapel mics can cost you thousands of dollars, and I don't think it's fair to present something like this to a non-funded filmmaker, nor is it fair to compare one of these to an $18 lapel mic. So I grabbed a lapel mic that is about the price range I would consider someone who really wants good quality sound for the YouTube videos or short films should get. This is the Rode Lavalier mic. It's about $250 on Amazon. Comes with a carrying case that some marketing person calls the anti-trauma storage case. Cute. I love that this case has a translucent top so I can see what it is and what is not in there. The case really protects this mic and all its accessories. It's logo labeled so I can identify it easy, and there's a rope on it for pulling it out of the gear bag. I also love the case is like a mini Pelican case with a very secure snap latch, so I know it won't pop open doing rough handling or dropping. You just have to make sure when you put the cord back in that you don't clip the cord. The pop filter, that foam thing that goes on top of the mic, is water resistant. If you're in high humidity by water or filming someone who spits a lot, this thing won't fall apart, which foam will do. And it's formed around metal thread, so it screws onto the mic and does not fall off. A mini furry head is included to cut wind noise when shooting outside or in noisy environments, and it also screws onto the mic's metal threads. The cable on the mic is a shielded detachable Kevlar reinforced cable. That sounds pretty fancy, but basically you don't get noise from the other electronic devices ruining your sound, and even though the cable is more rigid and doesn't get tangled, wrapping it up is not a problem. The cable screws on and off so you can detach it and use a longer or shorter cable and other connectors as needed. This mic includes a lapel clip that stays put on the mic. By the way, when you attach a lapel mic to an actor, the cord running out of the base of the mic can rub up against their clothes, which is picked up by the mic, and it will ruin your sound. One way to handle this is by taping the cord to the clothes or skin of the actor, and if you do this, please don't use duct tape. Like very many high-end lapel mics, the lapel mic from Rode includes a cable management wire. You can loop the cable through the wire and not worry about ruining your sound. The Rode lapel mic features a Micon 2 connection system, which is a fancy name for connection system that allows you to connect this mic to just about anything. What this actually means is you'll have to buy additional adapters to use it at an additional cost. Now, I'm not complaining. I think it's awesome that you can buy the lapel mic, decide what adapter you need, and later buy additional adapters as your needs change. This adapter system allows you to buy extension cables, XLR adapters for microphones like those used in the studio, and 3.5mm adapter. There's also connectors for specialty items like wireless sound system. It's a great design. For my Zoom H1 setup, I got the Rode Micon 2 3.5mm connector for stereo devices, about $18, and this is also built to last. I also got the extension cable. It's about 10 foot, 3 meters. It's about $40. That may sound like a lot for a cable, but it's also a shielded Kevlar reinforced cable that wraps up really nicely. That brings the price tag to about $300. I think this thing rivals some high-end lapel mics in features, quality, and beats some hand-downs for extensibility as well as price. And the cool thing about this lapel mic, this mic has no on-off switch and no batteries. I plug it into the Zoom H1 and it just works. And it's stereo and the other one's not. I really like this thing. Okay, now we have all the details of the recorder and 2 lapel mics out of the way, so you know what I am testing. I am purposefully wearing this color shirt so you can see the attachment of the mics. So let's do our test. I've mounted these lapel mics at the same distance and direction from my mouth and adjusted the levels on the Zoom H1 for each lapel mic. I'm showing my voice peak at about 12 on the Zoom meters. Note that the Audio Technica needs an input level of about 80% and the Rode only needs an input level of about 45% to reach the same level. That immediately tells me the Audio Technica is going to pick up more ambient room noise than the Rode, and the Rode is going to give me cleaner sound. I've never done this test, so I don't know yet how big the difference is going to be until I edit the footage. So let's see if there's a big enough difference to justify the cost. Here's the raw sound coming from the Rode lavalier microphone. This is not the Audio Technica ATR 3350 lavalier omnidirectional condenser microphone. Here's the raw sound coming from our low-end lapel mic, the Audio Technica ATR 3350 lavalier omnidirectional condenser microphone. This is not the Rode lavalier mic. Here's the raw sound from the Rode lapel mic. Here's the raw sound from the Audio Technica lapel mic. Raw sound from the Rode lapel mic. Raw sound from the Audio Technica lapel mic. Here's a test of the Rode lapel mic during silence to see how noisy the signal is and if it picks up any ambient room noise. Here's a test of the Audio-Technica lapel mic during silence to see how noisy the signal is and if it picks up any ambient room noise. Here's another test of the Rode mic. I always take a minute and run my sound through Adobe Audition for my episodes. I use a volume leveler so I don't get extreme loud and soft variances on my voice, a compressor, it's called the broadcast quality preset, and a little noise reduction to clean up any ambient sound I don't want. The noise reduction on the Rode mic should be minimal. Let's do the Audio-Technica. I always take a minute and run my sound through Adobe Audition for my episodes. I use a volume leveler so I don't have extreme loud and soft variances on my voice, a compressor, the broadcast quality preset, and noise reduction to clean up any ambient sound I don't want. I expect the noise reduction on the Audio-Technica to be a lot more than the Rode. Lastly, here's the process sound from the Rode lapel mic. Here's the process sound from the Audio-Technica mic. Okay, although I expect the high-end mic to kick the low-end mic's butt, I have no idea how these two are going to sound one against the other until I edit the footage. So leave a comment below. What do you think is the better sound? Is the more expensive mic worth the price? Are the two process sound tracks close enough to where it doesn't matter? And if I flag someone down for cookies, does that make me a gobo? Thanks for watching. The Audio-Technica ATR 3550. The Audio-Technica ATR 3550. The Audio-Technica ATR 3550 lavalier monitor. The Audio-Technica ATR 3550 lavalier omnidirectional condenser mic. Bam!